Hello everyone. In this video I will focus on the Siege of Winterfell research tree that was recently introduced along with the AC researches. I have made a separate video for the AC researches and now I will focus on the Siege of Winterfell ones. I made a separate video for Siege of Winterfell because there are some differences on what researches we get, some more specific Siege of Winterfell researches here, and also some differences on how important things are. Starting from the beginning, we have the same research, the troop size. We can increase the troops that we get in from 3 million up to 4 million. So we can increase it 1 million more. As I will discuss later, although in AC this is really a very important research, it is not really as important in this research tree. Marching speed that is next in the AC is not here now, as it is way more significant in the Siege of Winterfell. It was moved later. So we go directly to the healing speed, where we can get up to 80% increase healing speed. Next, instead of base stats, now we have normal troop, attack, defense and health stats. Thankfully, it is not something very minor as in other research trees, but considering the stats given by the commanders and their skills, it is not really something game changer. We can increase up to 120% the troop stats and up to 80% some total stats. After the stats researches, we have the marching speed that is called movement speed in the context of Siege of Winterfell, and here it is per troop type. It's not general for all troop types as in AC and in normal PvP. So here we have for each troop type, for example the cavalries that I saw here, increase of movement speed up to 10%. It sounds minor, it can be important on increasing the speed in general of the event though. And now we start with some Siege of Winterfell specific researches. After the movement speed we have the attack range of a specific troop type that is increased, which is the range in which your troops will need to be to attack the enemy. The increase can be up to 20%. And can be important to be able to attack from farther away during a battle for quite some reasons, but again I do not see it as a game changer. Next, again some interesting researches that focus on energy recovery rate for your 3 marches. It's one research for each march, which has 10 levels each, and you can increase it up to 15%. Until now, we do not have the concept of energy in Siege of Winterfell and in general in the RTS mode of the game. So I guess this means actually rage recovery rate, which is basically that it recovers faster the rage that is used for your commander skills. With this research you will be able to recover faster the rage so that your commander skills are used more often. Of course you will here want to focus more on your main march, that you have your lords before the rest, because your main march will also deal the most damage either way, and the increase will be bigger. The final Siege of Winterfell researches are the most interesting ones and probably the most important ones. There is one research that boosts each different skill type that can be found in the commanders. The first research is about increasing normal attack damage. This concerns skills like Daeron's skill, Bailey's or Salma that already depend on increasing the normal attack damage, and with this we will increase it even more. You can increase the attack damage up to 20%. The second research is about increasing the skill damage of the commanders, and it relates to skills like Dany's, Enzo's or Lad's that deal skill damage explicitly. You can increase it again up to 20%. The third research increases the counter-attack damage dealt to the enemies and concerns skills like Jon Snow's that already depend on increasing counter damage. Again 20% increase for that. The last one is the healing coefficient increase, again up to 20%, and this can be combined nicely with skills like Marjorie's, Sansa's, Annie's that heal troops under your command or allies close by. I see these as very important researches that can really boost your performance in Siege of Winterfell if you carefully select which ones to focus on based of course on the marches you use. The final research is the same one as in Alliance Conquest, giving initial point increase up to 100 again. As I said in my previous video, in AC this is not really game changer, as the initial points that you bring in the battle, you can lose them to the enemy if they win a soul on you. But in Siege of Winterfell this is not true. The enemy cannot get the initial points that you brought. So, the more points you bring in, the more points your alliance will have, which can make a difference in the battle, considering that if 70 people come in the battle with 100 more points, this can be up to 7k more points, which can be very important to close games. In general, the research tree seems less important than in Alliance Conquest, with the big exception of the last 4 researches before the initial points, that can play a significant role to improve your performance during battles due to commander synergies that they will try to boost. The troop size is not going to be that much important as in Alliance Conquest. There it increases the number of troops you can send at the same time, but in Siege of Winterfell you can either way send only 3 marches, so the difference will be mainly on accounts that can send more than 3 million with the 3 marches. That is not concerning the most of us. These accounts are very few in the game. For the rest of us, it will be just 1 million less troops to heal, as we will have 1 million more troops to die before we need to heal. Of course, the hospital healing speed can be very nice, to be able to heal more and fight more during the battles, saving some speed ups. The stats given and the attack range can be nice of course and good to have, but nothing game changer in my opinion. But the last 4 researches can really make a difference, boosting specific lineups, specific synergies of commanders, and maybe we will have to consider changing some lineups based on which researches we have focused on first and goes on. Of course, everyone should focus first on the one for their main march. For example, if you use Daeron, then you go for the normal attack one first. If you use Dany or Enzo, go for the steel damage one. If you use Jon Snow, go for the counter attack one. So you have to see what commanders you use in your main march, which ones are the most important, and try to boost their skill even more. But also everyone should give some focus on the healing training researches that boost the healing skills, especially for Marjorie skill that heals allies, which can make a big difference when many Marjories are in the battle, constantly healing your allies and your allies' Marjories healing you. I hope the video was helpful and thank you for watching it. Do not hesitate to leave a question or comment so we can discuss more.